Rashad, 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 I love you. But I know one thing about you that I'm learning is that you have a hard time letting go of certain things. And it's time for you to get rid of all of the stuff that's in this apartment that's written all over these walls so you could begin to accept something new. And I know it's going to bother you from transactional analogy and the analysis in the corner, transactional analysis. Tell me the Ted, the dear man, the life is controlling a series of events, circumstances, and verbs, your electric orientation, your magnetic orientation, your anxiety and conflict habitually. You have to let some of that stuff go, man. Having an attentiveness to understanding receptive value, identifying and isolating what is truthful so that you can actually start putting some of this into here, knowing your mental, your emotional, your physical, your spiritual, your social self is based upon all of those being them and them being seen by others, knowing your boundaries. Stop being so repressively prideful. Don't get stuck in your own way. Understand that the greatness is the Atlantis of your psyche, the greatness of the man that you want to be. Don't be ill at ease. Understand you need to have a beginner's mind, Shoshin Ryu, knowing that Awasana is what your spirit smells like to God. And that Bruce Lee did say, the most powerful of all weapons is the will and the concentration. You're going to have to let some of that go, Slim. It's been up there too long, especially going into the chakras of knowing the difference between fear and survival, guilt and pleasure, shame and willpower, grief and love, lies and truth, illusion and intuition, attachment and the Holy Writ. You want to get into the Kama Sutra, right? How long this stuff been up here? How long it's going to take you to learn the 64 arts of the Kama Sutra? When you going to really learn how to do this scale right here? This every good boy does fine. Knowing the face. That's just the trouble. You ain't even went to the base. What about that hungry ghost of yours that wants to always learn, constantly learning, but never coming to the true knowledge? You taught and learned, and now you have to erase it all so that the precepts and the concepts can be seen as scepter, as rulership. You know, I heard my Uncle Leighton give me another word the other day, and that word was conceptive. He was talking about how when they taught Xavier, him and Sandra, and I can't even begin to think about what him and Beverly were doing when they was teaching. Sandra used to keep Xavier, but Beverly was there when they taught Xavier. They set him on top of a washing machine, and they said that he was conceptive. That's what Uncle Leighton called him the other day. And I listened to what he said, and I thought about what he said. And the word, I had never heard the word conceptive. But then when I thought about what he was saying, and I thought about Xavier's behavior, man, that dude is conceptive, meaning he's able to take and tear down the way other people rule in order to build the different arena and atmosphere. And I've always known that about Xavier. I said that he is a social butterfly because he taught me to be a lot of the things that I am, a social butterfly. So I got to take down some of this stuff. And some of this stuff is so fresh, I didn't even get a chance to get into it. Like how the word work actually means to become in a different language. I forget where I even got that from. Or You know, how words move people and actions lead people. I want to take some of this stuff been up here for months. You know, KRS-One taught about 8 bars before. You go in 8 bars before you drop the theme, you know? And then, you know, I got to take that Anthony Browder down. Your boy Robert Greene, who wrote the 48 Laws of Power, the Art of Seduction, all that type of stuff I want to put on the walls. He wrote that, and he said that you need to be obsessively empathetic. You see what Anthony Browder has, and then how happiness is an activity. I forget where I got that from. How you hear them out, empathize, apologize, respond, react, thank them. You know, there's a difference between responding and reacting, and that's something that needs to go up there. Reacting is basically for a boy, and responding is for a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, like all that stuff needs to be taught. Like I'm thinking about the ambition and the position. You know, my ambition and my position, I didn't even get a chance to really delve into that. So even though I got to get rid of what wisdom or discipline is overcoming the inertia and dwelling on the consequence, knowing that Hebrews 12:2 says there is what is good, pleasing, and perfect to God, and understanding that Sensei Mo says when your hand is down, you being a man, you're gonna get knocked out. And how everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the face. Inability, how I felt like that word should never have been even created. And civil versus martial. The reason I felt the word inability shouldn't have been created is because of what Christ is. Christ says, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect, which says what? You're able to do all things to them that believe. Wow, that takes me straight into Mark chapter 9, verse 17 through 29, where them that believe, all things are possible to those believers, and that's what that is right up there. Then the responsibility and the boundary, they equal the same thing. Why? Because responsibilities are the price tags for the conveniences that you live. And then I had who was that? Danica Marie, and her husband was on one time, and her husband explained how unconditional love is what we like to tell people we have, but no, it's not like that with human beings, because you have a preference. What you prefer is what you deal with and you tolerate, because that's the condition and the preference. Those two things go together. Is that I have a condition to which I'm going to deal with you as long as I'm getting what I prefer. Knowing the difference between indulgence, indolence, and indigence. I put that in the journal. So indulgence being, spurl, indolence being lazy, and being indigent is basically being broken. I ain't trying to be in those situations. You have to be fourth stepping it on the 12-step program, which is on the beams. Don't 13th step it, which is where you're trying to tell somebody else, how to walk through the program of the 12 steps. You should be on the 4th step trying to stay on the beam. Man, I've been through a lot. God is good. And I don't really want to erase all of this because of that, but I have to, because it's time for me to continue to grow. I've been learning about stuff like you got to have a little fellowship twice in the morning, communion. What's that? Where did I get that? Deuteronomy 29, I think that was. That type of stuff. I'm starting to kind of jog my mind and want to put new stuff up here. No, that's Exodus 29. It talks about daily offerings twice. And that's when you leave in the morning and when you leave at the night. I was looking at earlier, or when you come in at night, I was looking at earlier Isaiah chapter 55 when he was talking about, who don't have money, come and let them buy milk and wine without money, and bread too. So it's like, wow. So God is saying, this is what that abundant life looks like. I got this on the wall up on the refrigerator that talks about after your season of suffering, God in all his grace will restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. So then when I, also look at 2 Chronicles 7:14, where he speaks about how his people have wicked ways, and if they would humble themselves and pray and seek his face, then he would forgive them of their sin and heal their land. So, all of that was on the wall. So all of this stuff got to come down, bro. And, I don't want it all to come down, but, if we really look at it, a story told by its original author has the benefit of personal experience backing up here I had perspective once, prerogative again, and this was an ode to perception, with KRS-One saying that 8 bars before you set a theme, human beings being theme setters. So I did dropped a lot, and so I didn't called all of that, the perspective, the prerogative, and the perception put together, the metric by which a man decides and makes a decision, or whether it's going to be good for him, whether it's going to be good for his progeny, and whether it's going to, be good in relation to others. So, man, that's a lot. And then I've been wanting to, because all of that is up and I haven't taken it down, I've been wanting to paint in the bathroom. And I don't know if that's cool or not. I haven't talked to my landlord about it. And, bro, this is where all of the that old stuff I was telling you about, that freaky, nasty stuff that some people would call freaky and nasty, is just basically natural, sexual. It deals with kama. When you think about Kama Sutra, which is sensual pleasure, I was thinking about doing all of that in the bathroom. And I just keep thinking to myself, you know what, Slim, you've been in this apartment quite some time. But in all actuality, God bless the child that have his own, and I'd like to have my own. And I'm mindful of New Orleans in this situation and circumstance with these blighted properties. I've been to a few of them, and also trying to adjudicate and authorize oneself through paperwork and all of that. So it's just, I also got that Tai Chi with that Baguazhang and that Northern Shaolin and that Hung Gar, all type of Kung Fu and martial arts, and it's just a lot, bro. It's a lot. Once I had a girl tell me about an idea about a vending machine. This when I first actually did this apartment and put it up, and it's been up there all that time. I had an idea. And recently I've been making or breaking soul ties from women that I've had sex with or married or got close to. And some women I'm learning different personalities. And now I'm in a book right now in the Bible, the Catholic Bible, of learning about wisdom and the wisdom of Sirach. And those two right there teach you about a woman and wisdom. And I think about my cousin Teresa, who was talking about her God, and I wound up understanding that God for a woman would be wisdom and God for a man would be love. And in both situations and circumstances, order is present, or what we see as prudent or prudence, which is acting with or showing care and thought for the future. So this is a good opportunity for me to continue to learn and to beckon, knowing that affecting opinion is a seduction basic, as I get ready to start, looking into the art of seduction, as well as remembering Dr. Payne and what he said to me, which was the nature of an oppressed people is to oppress themselves. And I don't want to oppress myself. I'm steadily trying to free myself mentally, so I'm getting ready to put the bass clef up under the treble clef. Every good boy does find always. FACE, EGBD, F. FACE, GBDFFACE. I remember teaching myself that in jail, yo, and I started learning Latin. As of recent, I've been playing on Duolingo with Spanish. I've been looking at some podcasts. I got this poster with all these jazz legends. I haven't even gotten a chance to just pick names from right there and just go on Spotify. It's got all kind of people on it, yo. I'm talking about, when I say all kinds of people, yo, like literally all kinds of people are on this thing. And I just have not. Look at Ray Charles up there. Miles Davis is on there as well. They got some different types of stuff. New Orleans is right there at the close to the root. You see the root down there at the Afro-Cuban rhythmic elements, African musical tradition. And it's crazy, at the top of it is some white chick. But Diane Krell, and I actually ran into her music back in Dallas, but I didn't download it to the Xbox. Like, I usually have an Xbox with 250 gigs on it and download all type of music on it. I got a lot of stuff on there now. Some old school stuff. I got some hymnals in the house, and bro, I'm really just blessed, bro. I really wanted to give God glory. After watching one of the Facebook videos talking about the progression and giving receptive value to, right now I'm in a position where I'm not working every day like I was. I had 2 gigs at one time. I have been not working so tough. My network operating income is not the same, but I did have this time on the video to shoot it. So I did, because, life is an experience, bro. It's a word wilderness challenge in some sense. I remember when I used to look like that. And now I got these, I done cut all my locks off and kept a few of them. And I've been able to enjoy life a whole lot better after taking the objective, which is wisdom is the principal thing, and actually applying that to everything I do, which is where I'm at right now in my journal with my Wisdom of Sirach. You dig? I'm all going through it, almost in the 2nd chapter, and I'm happy, bro. I'm happy that life is good and God is good, and I want to hold on to that. I still got this yearning for a woman, because I guess my mom's wasn't there in my life, and a lot of people, they have this ideology about making people proud, and I've really never had a whole bunch of people around to make proud, but I've always tried to be the best man I could be, so someone could give an affirmation of me making them proud. And I'm working through that. That's a hard thing to deal with when, you're not supposed to have idols. Nobody else is supposed to be God. God wants nothing to rank with him. But you from New Orleans, so you got these different things that you don't want to try to hold on to, these different people, places, things, and ideas. You're supposed to love God with all your heart, which is deceitfully wicked, your mind, which is subjective to nouns, people, places, things, and ideas, and your soul, which is undulated by tone. So, you have to be mindful of that. That the video game is what they call that, it's a sin. Emulation is a sin when you make a copy of something rather than actually go for what's real. And what the whole metaverse is right now that everybody's investing in is emulation. They're investing in sin. They don't even realize it. So, man, you know what? I got to tell you the truth. Man, you got to be careful. You need to give God glory, bro, for what you do have. Because I can't tell you that I'm any better than you when I just told you what I do. So, keep that in mind all the way around, bro. Not to be a fool. Bless God with your substance. Peace.